I don't know which gears there are.
This way, Lachlan. This way. We've got to pay first. Lachlan, come here, quick, quick. 2. Lachlan.
Can you see the new line?
Wait. Which way are we going?
Go left with Lachlan left.
What makes us human? Oh, you can use a robot arm.
Alright, good morning everyone, welcome to the Liquid Nitrogen Show. My name is Yolanda, I'm the presenter today. There is one main house rule that you should know. It is that you can leave the theatre anytime during the show that you'd like to. The best way to do that is to exit your seats and walk to the stairs either side. But before you exit the stairs and step onto this floor, make sure to yell out to me and say, I'm ready to leave, just in case I'm not already looking at you. Because it is a liquid nitrogen show and I do sling it around, just so that you're safe and I'm safe, just let me know when you're about to enter this floor, yeah? But if you do leave the theatre, you won't be allowed back in as the doors look behind you. But aside from that, that is the only house rule. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's get into liquid nitrogen. Have we seen liquid nitrogen before? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So for those of you who haven't, well, you're going to see a whole bunch during the show. But I also have to be safe up here as well, which is why I have my goggles, my gloves, and my lab coat. I'm going to bring some out and we'll just have a look. Actually, before I even start to do this, I just want to also say how cold liquid nitrogen is. This is the other rule. Do not touch liquid nitrogen. As we've said before, it is extremely cold. Its temperature, its boiling temperature is negative 196 degrees Celsius, which is extremely cold. It's colder than Canberra and Australia and the Earth. It's colder than Earth. I think the coldest temperature on Earth was in Antarctica, and I think it was negative 80 degrees, which is still pretty cold. It's colder than dry ice, but not as cold as this, yeah? So we're not allowed to touch liquid nitrogen, yeah? That's why I'm wearing gloves, goggles, and my lab coat. But I will bring it around so you can have a look at what it does to certain things that we're going to have a look at, certain materials, yeah? Let's get into it. So I'm just going to start off by putting a little bit in here. You might be able to notice some things about it right now. What are some things you notice about it?
It's boiling. It's boiling and it's cold.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's
And
boiling. Sorry?
that doesn't make any sense. It's cold.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. It feels like it doesn't make sense because it's doing the same thing that a kettle does when it boils water or a pot of water before you make
Wait, could
pasta.
you put the city in there and when it actually cooks?
In here, it might do the opposite to cook.
Freeze.
But I'll show you a video later actually of what happens when you put things in liquid nitrogen. But yes, indeed, this is boiling. All boiling means is that it's turning from a liquid into a gas, right? Same thing happens when you boil water, and same thing is happening right here. But you're right, it's extremely cold.
Don't touch.
And even now, it's still boiling. It's just not boiling as aggressive as it was. And as I told you before, the boiling point of liquid nitrogen is negative 196 degrees Celsius. This room is maybe 23, 25 degrees Celsius, which is a very big difference, which means, of course, this is boiling because it's in a hotter temperature, right? But you may have also noticed there was some like cloudy stuff coming up it. That is fog. Yeah, some of we might know fog from driving on the road, but also sometimes when it's really cold and you go outside and you pretend to be a dragon and you're like, and all that fog comes out. Yeah, it's the same thing that happened here. Yeah, all that was happening was when the air came out, or because this is cold, the air above it condenses down into liquid. Fog is a liquid. Yeah, did anyone know that? No? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is recently new to me. I was like, fog is a liquid? But yes, let's, I'm going to pour some on the floor just so you can see what happens when it touches the floor. Yeah?
Okay.
I bet the floor's freezing from how much time you would have
Yeah.
done it.
Let's have a look.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
The garment that's so cool.
That is insane. Careful, it's escaping.
Yeah, you can still see some of that fog, but you also might be able to see some of this liquid nitrogen coming back as it like hit the silver part of the stairs. It's bounced and come back, and you can see that they're moving very like freely, and this is because they're actually hovering on the floor.
Yeah. They stop. They just go stop and then.
Yeah. Well, when they completely expand into gas. So this is them. See this little one? It's going to disappear in a moment. It's gone, right? Because it expanded into gas, nitrogen gas. And so as they're on the floor, the layers go like this: the floor, nitrogen gas, and then liquid nitrogen. So it doesn't even get a chance to touch the floor. And this effect is called the Leeuwenfrost effect. And you also, those of you who cook in the audience, you might have seen this on the stove, when you put a pot on the stove on some fire and there's nothing in it, and then you splash it with some water, and it's like and like skidding around all the water. It's like bouncing off things. It's because it's creating the same effect, the Leeuwenfrost effect, where it's turning into gas before it touches the pan.
right.
And so essentially this is the same thing that's happening here, because this floor is extremely hot in comparison to the liquid nitrogen. It's creating the same effect as on the frying pan.
That was so cool.
So I'm going to pour some more on the floor and you can have a look at it with that in mind. Yeah, it might make a little bit more sense as to the way it's moving around.
Oh,
I think there was a tiny explosion.
A tiny explosion. Nice. So now I'm going to show you, so we've seen what liquid nitrogen looks like on its own. I'm going to pour some on this water. Any ideas as to what's going to happen with that? Yeah?
It's gonna straight away freeze it.
Straight away freeze it. Do we have any other ideas? What
Might-
do we all think that?
might turn into
It's gonna turn
Gas.
into ice.
Oh,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to have a look. Just pour some out.
It looks like there's not it's kind of, and since there's so much fog, there's so much, like it looks like there's nothing there. And it looks like,
Inside here.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, because it's all like icy on the outside.
I think it's
So,
sent straight
it
away.
freeze straight away.
This is our room temperature or tap water. Put some liquid nitrogen on it.
Oh, freeze.
Yeah.
So cool.
So we've got a lot of fog going on. I'll let the fog do its thing, but again, like I said before, the fog is coming from the air above it, right? It's getting so cold, it's condensing down into a liquid,
I
right?
wanna
So
touch the fog.
in the end, you can touch some fog. Well, actually, not in this show. I'm sorry. Sorry, you won't be allowed to. But what's happening is, yes, the air is condensing down into liquid. So that's one change of matter. So you guys know maybe the three main matters, yeah, like solid, liquid, and gas. Yeah, this is a really good example of those. This experiment helps you understand or see how we can change through the matters just by changing temperature, right? Because we've taken I'm going to call the tap water hot, right? It's a hot liquid because our liquid nitrogen is cold, right? We mix them together and all these changes happen. The first thing we can see here is the fog, turning from gas into liquid. The other thing, we already know that when we make water cold, like we make it really cold, it turns to ice, right? Ice is a solid. So we've turned liquid into a solid. And then, the third thing, I'm going to bring this around. You might be able to see some of the ice on top.
Yep.
It's going to melt pretty quickly, unless I put some liquid nitrogen on it, but it doesn't want to go there. But up the back, can you guys see a little bit of ice? There's still there's like a blob of liquid nitrogen there, so I'll leave it alone. But the third change of matter is the liquid nitrogen itself, turning from liquid into gas, right? The same way that a kettle does. But because I've got a little bit here, I want to because the thing is we can't see gas, right? Gases are invisible to us just like air, okay? So do we know what this is?
Kettle.
Yeah, it's a kettle. But there's something different about this kettle to that kettle over there. Do we know what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
It shows the temperature.
Oh yes, that's true. This does show the temperature, which means it's an electric.
You have to use a flame for that
Yeah, this one you have to put it on the fire. And so when you put it on the fire, it makes a sound to let us know that it's ready. And the reason it makes that sound is because it's boiled, it's turned into gas, right? Let me just show you.
It'll whistle.
I'm going to pour some into here. That should do it, I reckon. We've got some fog. We've closed the lid, the fog's forced to come out here, right? But the fog is what we see, but we don't see the gas, right?
It's saying it's ready.
That's the sound the kettle makes when it boils, like when you're making a cup of tea. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's because here there's a little hole and it's forcing a lot of gas through this tiny hole, so it makes a whistling sound, just like when you whistle. Like, I'm not going to try to whistle, I was going to give it a go, but I'm not going to. I figured I can't whistle. But yeah, that's what's happening here. The other thing to explain also is that liquid nitrogen expands 600 times its size. Yeah, that's a lot. You would need 600 more of these kettles. If this kettle was filled to the top of liquid nitrogen, you'd need 600 more of these to make the liquid and all the gas that comes from it to still stay in there and not make, that sound? Oh. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah? And so, this will just keep going until, when we see the liquid nitrogen on the floor, and it disappeared because it expanded into gas. And that's the same thing that's going to happen here. Right? It just happens at a quicker rate than water does. There's still a little bit in there, but I'm going to let it do its thing. But this is just to help us understand that liquid nitrogen does in fact expand into gas. Yeah? So we've had a look at liquid nitrogen on its own, what happens when it meets something hotter than it, or when it, when it changes temperature. But we've used water to see that. And we've seen, let me see. See, it's expanded. There's a faint whistle. And it's the tiniest little bit. It's not even, you couldn't even get a sip out of it. I can still hear it, but it's still expanding, right? It's going to expand a lot until it goes. I'm going to leave that be. Let's have a look at something else. Let me put a little bit in here. Would I be able to get a parent from the audience or an adult from the audience to help? Yeah? Do you want to help? Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. I'm going to get you to come down and I'm going to get you to stand right here. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel. A round of applause for Daniel, everyone.
Woo!
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. I'm just going to get this ready. But before I do, so the reason you're here is because we're going to...
Use you as a demonstration and freeze you to death.
No.
No, not at all. You're going to help me with a demo. And the demo is...
Yeah.
Callum.
Have a look at what happens with some solids. So I'm going to give you this one. Yeah? So, Daniel, the aim of this game is to get this ball through this hoop. Those of you who think Daniel can do it, hands up.
Eventually.
Yeah. Run with it. Those of you who think Daniel can't do it. Yeah? Okay. Okay. I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. Yeah? So I'm going to get you to hold it there. I'm going to hold this down here and you're going to slowly put it through. Oh my God. Yes, it fits through. Round of applause for Daniel.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel, did you think you could do it?
Yes.
Yeah, you did? Nice. I love that. So that was like a little bit underwhelming. But to make it a little bit more exciting, before I put liquid nitrogen in here, put the hoop in there. What do you think is going to happen to the hoop?
Bigger or smaller? It's gonna shrink.
It's going to shrink. Why is it going to shrink?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. So do you think, so if I put it in liquid nitrogen and then we go put the ball through the hoop again, do you think the ball will go through the hoop?
No.
No. Hands up, no. Yeah? Hands up, yes. Yeah, nice. Okay. That's cool. We can have a look. I think it's been in there for a good while. It's pretty cold. Got some fog coming off it. Okay, are you ready, Daniel? I'm going to get you to hold it there. I'm going to hold it here. When you're ready. Oh! It is stuck. But why is it stuck?
Expanded. The metal expanded. The molecules in the metal. No?
It got well,
Further apart.
not quite.
Dang.
So it got cold. So the same thing happens, well, not really, but the same thing sort of happens, it feels like to us when we get cold and we like get really small and we try to bring all our heat in, we try to warm up ourselves. So the same thing is happening here. I shouldn't say the same thing. Okay, let's say this. This hoop has energy inside of it, right? We make it cold, all the energy gets cold, so it starts moving less and less and less, and they shrink and they fall. Oh,
It started to warm up.
it's because it's warm on stage. This is no longer in liquid nitrogen, so it's gotten hotter. Can you feel these lights?
Yeah.
There, a little bit. They're warm. This room is warm, right? So we want to try that one more time. Oh. Well, I'll get you to hold the ball and then I'll take.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Try it one more time. Ah. Yeah. So let me finish my explanation. So when things are cold, let me start with hot. When things are hot, they have a lot of energy in them, so they take up more space. They can fill out the shape inside here. But when they get cold, all the little particles inside here get colder, so they shrink down. They take up less space. They have less energy, and so the hoop shrinks with it. Yeah. But now that it's getting warmer, it's getting big. We can't really see it, right? It's a bit hard to. But actually, we can have a look at it with this balloon over here. But it's come back to being normal, yeah? Does that make sense? It's okay if it doesn't, because it'll make more sense with this balloon, yeah? Thank you, Daniel. Round of applause for Daniel. Woo-hoo. Nice. I'm going to leave this here, do its thing. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so this balloon is just full of air, right? I'm going to put some liquid nitrogen on it, and we see what happens, yeah? Wait, do you guys want to have a guess? Yes?
The air will freeze inside.
The air will freeze inside. Interesting. Yes. Also, I see you covering your ears. That's okay, you're more than welcome to, but I will say that it shouldn't pop. However, it is a balloon. Balloons pop, and so it might pop. So you're welcome to cover your ears. Yes.
It'll shrink.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
It might go that because you said it makes gas.
Sorry, can you say that again?
It might float up because of the gases, is that right?
Ah, okay, yeah, last one.
Because it's so cold and when you blow balloons up, the stuff can get very thin. Maybe the liquid nitrogen will go through it and then freeze the air and then make it get bigger and bigger until it pops.
Ooh, okay, interesting. I like that. Let's give it a go, yeah? You guys ready?
Yeah, it's shrinking and since it's getting colder.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's holding some liquid nitrogen inside, so I want to see. Yeah, it's not. But can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's the balloon.
All the air's still trapped inside it.
Yeah, it'll expand back again
I'm
when
just
it
trying
warms
to
up.
push it into the liquid nitrogen to see how
Small you
much we can shrink it, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my, and maybe go there. Can you guys see that?
All the
Yeah.
air's still inside of it.
Well, yeah, the air is still inside of it. It just got really cold, so all the air particles, they sunk to the bottom, and so the balloon followed, right? It had no air to keep it up, right? But now, because even if I blow on it,
Wow.
yeah, because my breath is hot, right? And this room is hot, it's no longer in liquid nitrogen, so it's blowing back up, but from the outside this time, right? Because it was, no air came out, and you can tell now because it's coming back to being normal. It just shrunk, it just got smaller, so the balloon followed, then it got hotter, and then the balloon got bigger and bigger, and now it's bigger again, yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's cool.
Hot things have energy, cold things have less energy, yeah?
Like what?
Let's leave that do its thing. Let's have a look at Lucky Last. Oh, should I put it in the wind? Oh no, I should do it over there. I'm going to do it over there, just to be safe. So this last, actually, how could I? Let me show you a video.
Play me a tune.